Mase is going live.
Hey, good day, good day, good day, good day. Thank you for joining me. Just in case you're joining me for the very first time, I'm your host, the real Brian Glaze Gibbs. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, share, support. I was once the problem. Now what I seek to do is right my wrong and become part of the solution. Hey, listen, I was just listening to Art of Dialogue. Shout out to them. And right now they got Gene Deal on. So here's the title. Gene Deal finally revealed who's behind 50 Cent being shot 9 times. Wow. So he's saying the dude worked for Murder Inc. But once again, as I'm listening to it, and Gene speaking about, he said everybody want everybody to think that it was Supreme. And then he went on to saying, like, Supreme, you know what I'm saying, as a gangster, won't do that. Out of respect to Chaz. May Chaz so rest in peace. But then again, right now is he won't pay for no hit like that. But then again, right now is what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you listen to Gene, and then I'm going to let you listen to something else with somebody that investigated and brought down Supreme Team in regards to that situation. And you go from there. I'll be back.
That whole $100 on calling 50 phone, calling 50 phone, calling 50 phone, calling 50 phone. And then one time his girl picked up. I said, yo, this Gene. Is 50 I? She said, Gene. I guess she was right there with him or something like that. She said, yeah, he all right. So I guess she told him to talk to me. I said, just tell him if he need anything that I'll be back on such and such day. So then I told Chad I spoke to 50. He said, man, if I was you, I wouldn't go near that kid because of the police, the detectives, and all this other shit like that. I said, yeah, all right. So I called 50 again, and he ain't pick up no more. So I was one of the dudes that called him when he got shot. And his girl picked up for me. And I guess she told him to tell him. He told her, nodded or something like that to let him know that he was good. So that's what happened.
Do you know who was behind it?
Do I know who was behind that hit? No, I don't know who was behind it, bro. I don't know who was behind it. I know that Irv Gotti and them had put it out there like they was a part of it and they was going to do it that night, the day at the meeting, from their conversations and how they was acting. I know they had to have something to do with it, and they come to find out that the dudes who did it was working for Murder Inc. So I can't even speak on that about where they hate or where they respect or anything about them came at. But I know that when Irv Gotti and them did the that they did, everybody said that was Supreme doing it. And I don't think Supreme would have disrespect the respect that Chaz had for 50 and played a part in that. He knew that was some rap shit. That wasn't no gangster shit. But everybody, it's a bigger story. That it's some gangsters that Supreme had it done. You understand? And I don't believe that. Because Supreme wouldn't have put up no money to get nothing like that done.
How was that like in real time with 50? Him getting shot, people think he dead, he's alive, he come out with In the Club, it's a big hit, he's a big star. Like, how was that like, yo?
Well, before 50 made his first hit records in How to Rob Things, when I heard 50 in the studio at Black Hands, I knew 50 was going to...
Okay, y'all just heard Gene Deal. You know, right now is, guess what? Gene been around. Diddy, 50, Jay-Z, he been around everybody. He was like the bodyguard. He know everything. Y'all just heard him out his own mouth saying that, you know what? Preem ain't had nothing to do with that. He wouldn't pay nobody to do anything like that or whatever. But then again, you got this detective. Now listen to what the hell he got to say. And y'all determine. You know what? Right now is somebody is not telling the truth. Somebody is liar, pants on fire. So help me to help you. And right now, listen what this guy say. They got a tape and they got a confession. Where as far as right now, whereas this man was sending out a hit team here, a hit team there, a hit team everywhere. Go ahead.
It's this tape. So we pop it in and I'm watching it, and it's a woman speaking, and she's holding up a video camera, looking out the window and saying, "You better hurry, he's out." They're bringing him a plate of food, and there's basically E sitting in his truck, and you know, the family who's having a barbecue at this house, and they're bringing food back and forth, and he wasn't paying attention, he wasn't looking in his mirrors, and she guided the hit team in to kill him. Supreme had assembled a team of guys. This guy Manuel Mosley, used to go by the name of Manny Dog. He put this hit team together. He had guys like eBay from World's Crew, some other guys that he knew from or were recommended by Supreme. They had been living in a house out there, responding to phone calls like E's over here, 50's over there, Big Nose Troy's over here. And they were like a rapid response team of hitmen who would just go out looking for him. And on all that day, she was guiding them in to kill E, and they did it. So
kidnapping, weapon charges. Guess what happened? Yeah, I'm a minute. Because
Ryan had associated himself with probably the most ruthless and notorious cocaine crack enterprise in the city, that being Howard Happy Mason and Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols.
NYPD rookie police officer was murdered, executioner style. And as I'm listening to that, I'm like, whoa.
You actually dealt with Brian Glaze Gibbs, huh?
I dealt with him years ago, back in the 80s, early 90s. I was where he was arrested by my partner back in those days for several murders himself.
Not bad. I was given to me by a police officer in New York called Matt Byrne, whose son was gunned down by these drug dealers up there in New York City.
Glaze was probably within the top 10 people in the city, but I'm going to say that he was probably one of the top 2 or 3 in Brooklyn. Drug dealers, and controlled the drug organization.
And you know what I did? When I got the phone, I told my man, the next time we see him, he's out of here.
Yeah.
Less than 12 hours, that nigga was dead.
This is the second person you murdered?
No. Because, like, right now, if you're going by the timeline, by that time, there's a few more before him.
You know, I heard so many good things about you. What I really like is, I know you're a tough guy. And I've known that for quite a while, and you changed your life, and you're coming around, and you're right. We're from New York. We're New Yorkers. No matter what color you are, no matter what religion you are, no matter what you are, you know, we're New Yorkers.
Well, he was a drug kingpin himself. He was a drug lord himself back in those days, and he operated out of Brooklyn and East New York, and you know, he committed a lot of violent acts himself. So, if anybody knows the streets, I mean, he knows the streets.
Tottenham.
Yeah, you gotta worry about them guys. But we only have to worry about those guys in Vanderveer and stuff. You know, we all knew Glaze and Tut and all those guys.
Yeah.
I know Glaze, Supreme Team. What up, Glaze? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Inside the Mind of a Killer, the Brian Glaze Gibbs story. Okay, I'll check that out.